Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And today is going to be the first puzzle I've tried by Trevor Tao. Mark's done a couple of Trevor's puzzles in the past, but this is the first time I've had the pleasure. Now, Mark suggested this puzzle to me with a snigger, so I'm guessing that means it's probably monstrously hard. But I do love the title, so I'm looking forward to giving it a go. It's called The First Noel, which is highly appropriate for this time of year, and it's relevant to the rules, actually, which include no L tetrominos of a particular type. But I'll read those out in a sec. Before I do that, I should mention, actually, that Trevor is the brother of Trevor Tao. And I know a number of you will be familiar with Terry. If you're not familiar with the name Trevor Tao, go and look at the number file video called The World's Best Mathematician, which is all about Trevor Tao. So with genes like that in the family, you can imagine how clever Trevor is. Oh my goodness. So this could be a very interesting video indeed, and hopefully it will result in Trevor being awarded the Fields Medal for Sudoku, but we shall see. What do I want to mention before we get onto that? Oh, I should tell you, look, I had some interesting stuff. What was it I wanted to show you? Yeah, here you go. This is the German publisher of our Kickstarter book. So now when the Pledge Manager goes live on Kickstarter, if you've ordered 3 books, or even if you've just ordered 1 book and you'd like that book in German, you can get it, because our German publisher here, J&B Verlag, is going to be doing the translation themselves of the text. So there will be 2 versions of the book, an English version and a German version, and we hope that that suits many of you. So very interesting indeed. I might put a link under the video actually to this, so you can check it out. What else do I want to say? Well, I want to remind you, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, do have a look at this Modern Art Sudoku pack that we've put on Patreon. It's completely free. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Patreon, you can become a patron of the channel on Patreon, and we recommend it. In terms of pleasure per pound or penny spent, it's undoubtedly some of the best value money you could ever spend in your lives. But if you're not a patron, you can absolutely download the Modern Art Pack. It's just a free post over on our Patreon page, so go to the link under the video. Now, if you are a patron, of course, you may well have been trying this Sudoku puzzle hunt, Tracking the Cryptid, which came from Stefan Bura and Akash Jain. It has been getting all of these wonderful comments, and I would like to read out the names of the successful solvers over the last few hours. So Bert Munro, well done. Stephen Richards, Mans Mateus, Scott Nakamura, Nick Smirnoff, Nagar Reis, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and Ben Butera, all finished the puzzle. I almost said the answer there. I almost said the answer, but I didn't. So yeah, so do well done to all of those, and if you haven't done it yet, keep persevering, because it's clearly possible. Right, with all that said, let us get on to, one more thing. Some of you have been asking about the Killer Sudoku app. It is imminent. Basically, all of the puzzles, all of the hints, they are with our app developer. And what the way the process works is the game then gets submitted to Steam, it gets submitted to Apple, it gets submitted to Android for approval. That process is not something you control. You just send them the game, and then they release it when they see fit to do that. So it should be imminent. So keep checking if you haven't checked. If you're interested in that. Right, let's read the rules of Trevor's puzzle. What have we got? We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. In addition, no L-shaped tetromino can contain 4 consecutive digits. For instance, you can't have row 2 column 9 equals 5. Let's put this in and see what it means. Row 4 column 9 equals 8. Row 4 column 9 equals 8. So this would not be allowed. Oh, I see, right, because that would be an L tetromino that would contain consecutive digits, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Right, I understand that. Okay, so that's not allowed. Right, that's it. The little killer clue indicates cells on the indicated diagonal must sum to 40 and may contain repeated digits. So I can see that diagonal there. That looks like it's going to be particularly useless. An 8-cell diagonal summing to 40 averages about 5, so I'm not going to spend long thinking about that. And that's all. That's all we get. So do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video, of course. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, let's get cracking. So maybe we'd start with some Sudoku. I can see 3 and 4, look. Are going to have to be in those cells. So we can, not 2 and 3, 3 and 4. We can pencil mark those in. 3's got to be in one of those cells. 4's got to be in one. 4 and 5 have got to be in those cells. 5 and 6 look similar to 3 and 4 up there. Put those in. There's some interesting symmetry here, isn't there? Look, I've just seen that the 6's are going in there. So in each of these sort of strips going around the grid, we get exactly 2 pencil marks, which prove to be exactly useless. I don't know what that means. Now, let's keep going, though. 6, that's not actually that helpful. These 6's, though, they lock 6 into one of 3 positions in box 1. Oh, I see. Right, 5's work the same way on box 3. So I'm wondering, does this carry on? Yes, it does. 4's locked in there. And presumably 3's locked in here. So there is certainly some symmetrical magic going on in Trevor's puzzle. All around these 3's, 4's, 5's and 6's. Right, I can't see what to do with that, but there's certainly something that's nagging me here. Let us see, can we use this tetromino constraint? So we need to avoid tetrominos that contain consecutive digits. The problem is, with that, I'm just looking at this box, for example, the 3, 4 and 5 are very beautifully positioned in order to avoid that. You know, if the 3 had been here, for example, we could have definitely looked at this square with interest and said that can't be a 6 or a 2. But the 3 being here, I don't know, maybe it's better in one of the other boxes. So it's not. The 3's, 4's, 5's and 6's are almost deliberately disposed within the grid not to be connectable by tetrominos. I mean, 5, if it was there, if 5 was there, we would have a restriction on this square, because this square couldn't be 2, well, it couldn't be 6 anyway, but it couldn't be 2. Whoa, this is not it. Well, what are you meant to do to finish the puzzle? If you can't do Sudoku and you can't do L tetromino stuff, and you can't use this, I'm sure you can't use this. I refuse to believe you can use this to start this puzzle. What do you do? Have I missed a Sudoku? So we've only got 1 9 in the grid. We've got 2 1s, 2 7s. Look at the 1s and the 7s. They are exactly sort of symmetrically disposed around a mirror that comes down here. This puzzle... And you can see why the first No L is a brilliant title. No L, as in without the E. It's very, very clever. Or a very good pun, anyway. Even if I can't solve it. I have no clue what I'm meant to do here. Is there... Have we got Fistemafel going on here? Doesn't look like it. It really doesn't look like it, does it? That does not look... Ah, now hang on. It's not Fistemafel, but... 3, 4, 5, 6 there. 3, 4, 5, 6... Ah, okay. That's interesting. So, those cells let's colour them in, have to be the same digits as these cells, because the 3, 4, 5 and 6 are obviously in both of those, and look, it's the same here. These cells have again got to be the same set of digits as those cells. No. So each of the sets of digits, green, blue, red and purple, are the same set of digits. They are the digits 1, 2, 7, 8 and 9. Now, does that mean... It's just a truism. It's not even an intelligent comment, to be honest. It doesn't matter. It's... I don't well, it feels like an interesting, it feels interesting to me that these 3, 4s, 5s and 6s are disposed in this sort of cross shape. It's like a noughts and crosses board that they've made, which does imply Fistomephel. You know, it does make me think about Fistomephel. But Fistomephel, if you're not familiar with it, let me get rid of the colouring because I don't see how to use it. But Fistomephel's ring is telling us that those cells would be the same 16 digits as you would find in those cells. So here we would have 3, 4, 5. Ah, no, that's interesting. Look at that. So 3, 4, 5 and 6 are in the corners of the Fistomephel ring, which means that the digits 3, 4, 5 and 6 have to appear in the blue squares. And you can see that they actually are already pencil marked. 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s. What you really want to be able to do, you almost need the Fistomephel ring to grow, to be honest. You need to be looking at this. That would be interesting. Because perhaps then you could relate. Actually, let me just highlight that and have a look at that. So let's get rid of red. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, I just want to get rid of red. That like that. Okay. So let's get rid of blue. Sorry about this. I'm floundering a bit here. I just want to have a think about whether or not you can sort of read, if you grow the Fistomephel ring. Problem is now I've never thought about this before, so I don't know whether this is even possible to do. But I'm wondering, so the cells that would be missing from... So the green cells could be defined as being 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, minus what I've just put in yellow, which minus the red cells, minus these corner cells, which will be double counted, because obviously if you take that as one set of the digits 1 to 9 in row 2, and then you take column 2 as one set of the digits 1 to 9, this cell is getting counted twice. And so is this one. Well, that one's not getting counted twice until you include row 8, but you see what I mean. So how can we relate this to something that... How would this compare to this box? Ah, no, actually, I've got a better idea than this, and it's more natural. Ah, I've just had an intelligent thought, I think. Maybe I don't need these squares. When I'm thinking about this, if I don't have those squares in, now, do I get those? Oh, this is... Right, sorry. I'm now going to change. I'm going to go to another idea. It's a similar idea to the one I was just looking at, but I think it might be better. So if you have a Fistmofel ring like this, but let's imagine now that rather than building this ring, I apply exactly the same principles for generating a Fistmofel ring, but I do it in row 2. I do it in these rows and columns. But I want to make sure I still create a 16 cell region. So how could I do that? Well, if I took these cells as part of the first, so these green cells are going to be my equivalent of these red cells. Now in this column, therefore, I need those cells. In this row, I need those cells. In this column, I need those cells. So, and I get this. Now why, you might say, am I even interested in this? Well, I'm wondering whether I can in the Fistmofel ring, this is mapping onto the corner squares. What I want to do is to try and map the corner squares onto these squares as fully as I can. And I think this isn't bad, because let's go through the logic now. Let's go through the logic and see where we get to. So if I was to ask somebody what cells, how could you describe the green cells in terms of the digits 1 to 9? We could say that row 2, the green cells, are the complete set of the digits 1 to 9, i.e. the entirety of row 2, minus these squares. I don't think anyone could disagree with that. How would we describe column 2? Well, we would say that was the complete set of the digits 1 to 9, minus those squares. Let's ignore the double counting of the 1 for the moment. This row is the entire set of the digits 1 to 9 minus those red squares. And of course column 8 is the same. So where we get to, and I'm thinking now this is a sensible thing that we're doing, because now I'm able to describe the green squares very precisely. I can describe them as 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 minus all of the red cells in the grid minus these corner cells, because these corner cells here have been double counted. When I counted them in row 2, I also counted them in column 2. So why, you might say, is this in any way interesting? Well, let's wonder. Now I want to describe these cells that I'm highlighting. How would we describe those purple cells? Now, obviously, if we look at box 1, the purple squares could be described as one set of the digits 1 to 9, i.e. the entire box, minus the red cells, minus the middle cell. This box, you could describe the purples as one set of the digits 1 to 9, minus the reds, minus the purples. So overall, we could describe the purple digits in this grid as exactly equal to 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, minus the reds, minus these 4 central blue cells. In other words, we've defined them identically to the way that we described the green cells. The green cells and the reds, the green cells and the purple cells are identical. Now that must, I say that must matter, but it feels to me like it must at least be a little bit useful, because now I know, because I've got all of these 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s in the purples, they all have to appear in the greens. Now there are 1, 2, 3 purple 3s, and I know 1, 2, so there is a purple 3 either here or here. Oh, bobbins, that is not quite good enough, is it? Is that the way it's going to work the whole way around? So 4s, 3 4s, 1, 2, there's a 4 here, or so there's got to be a 4 in the green, a third 4 in the greens. So it's got to be in one of those strips. So it's either going to create a 4 5 6 triple or a 3 4 6 triple. And I don't know which. That is very frustrating because that did not feel like a stupid thing to do. I've still got to put... no, okay. Oh, no, I tell you what we can do, though. We can use the... Yeah, we can use the other digits. 1, 7, 8 and 9 are in the green cells, therefore they need to appear in the purple cells. Well, there are 4 of those digits that have not yet been placed in the purple cells, and there are exactly 4 spaces in the purple cells, so these 4 digits must be the digits 1, 7, 8 and 9. At least we've got one deduction. Oh, that... Okay, so that removes, look, in each corner, that removes one of the pencil marks. Okay, I don't know what this does, so let's do it. 5 comes out of there, 6 comes out of there, 3 comes out of here, and 4 comes out of here. That one can't be a 1, because there's a 1 in the box. That one can't... we're just going to get rid of 1. This puzzle is mad. It's completely insane. I get rid of 1 digit in the corners. Okay. So now, it's quite weird actually. This is very strange because now I actually know the exact composition of the entire green ring, in the sense that I know exactly what digits go into it. I just don't know where they go. And I've still got to keep this L tetromino thing. I don't think I've used that once. Is that what I've got? Maybe I can use it now. So, let's think about this. Hang on, this might be a good thought. Because we've got 3 or 4 in here for sure. And joining the 3 and 4 is either a 5 or a 6. Now, well, I can totally see. Actually, can I see? If it's a 5 that joins the 3 and the 4, then it gets very interesting regarding 2 and 8. Let's look at that. If this was 3, 4, 5, where do you put the 2 and the 8 in the box? Not the 2 and the 8. What am I talking about? The 2 and the 6 is what I'm meant to be thinking about. The 2 and the 6. The next number after 5 is not 8, it's 6. Where do you put the 2 and the 6? In fact, the 6 would be placed. The 6 could only go there, because anywhere else it would create an L tetromino or a Sudoku clash. So in fact, if this was 3, 4, 5, you would get a 6 here, and then where do you put the 2? You can't put it in the corners, you have to put it there. So this would be a 6-2 pair, which would be enormously... Well, it would be a digit. I don't think I've put a digit in yet. But that means this has to be 3, 4, 5, and unfortunately, I don't think I know that it has to be 3, 4, 5. Do I know it has to be 3, 4, 5? So why is there no 6 in here? If there's a 6, that would be a 6. There would be a 6 over here. There's something about this I'm not appreciating. There's probably a lot of things about it. This is what happens when you deal with geniuses. They perplex you. Let's do these ones. 3, 6, 4 and 5 in here. 3, we know there's a 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. It's just the same everywhere, isn't it? 3, 4, 5, 6. The 1 and the 7. This, right, I think I'm going to get a digit. I think I'm going to get a digit. The 7. Yes, it is. This has a 4 and a 5 in it. Right, this is really important. This is beautiful, actually. This has a 4 and a 5 in it, for sure, by Sudoku. Its choice, then, is whether it has a 3 or a 6 to accompany the 4 and the 5. What would happen if it had a 6? Look at the 7 now. You can't create an L tetromino with consecutive digits, so we could not have a 7 in any of those 4 cells, because the 4, 5, 6, 7 would be consecutive, and the 7 here rules it out of those two. So this is not 4, 5, 6. It's 3, 4, 5. And when I said I was going to get a digit, that might be wrong. Oh, no, I am. I'm going to get this 3. Okay, good. I do get a digit. Ha. Ha ha, Trevor. I've got a digit. Okay, so let's get rid of the 4 and the 5 here. Now, oh, and now I can get another digit because of the 6 here. Because I've got to put a 6 in this box, and it can't go there by Sudoku, and it can't go in those because of the tetromino rule, so it goes here. And presumably I just go the other side and think about the 2, yes, and that means we get another digit. And the 6 means we get another digit. Oh, maybe I might be on the right track at last. So now 6 can't go there anymore. Three. So 3 is now ruled out of those cells. So this becomes 4, 5, 6. So here the tricky digits are 3 and 7, which can't go in the corners. So 3 and 7s go into those two squares, and we get them. Lovely. 3 and 7 go into the grid. One must be on this side, look. One must be on one of those two cells. So now I've got to keep track, actually, of which digits. So I've allocated the third 3 to this one. I've allocated the third 4 to this one. So I've still got to allocate a 5 and a 6. So this can't... Oh no, that one automatically has a 3 from Sudoku. I'm losing track a bit here. So 2 in this row's got to be in one of those cells. Go to the right. Which means 2's in one of these cells. I really want to see, I've got a 3, 4 here. And it's either joining with 6 or 5. Oh, it's joining with 6 because 6 is in these two positions. Nice. So it doesn't have a 5 in it. So the third 5 has to be here. So this is 3, 5, 6 and doesn't have a 4. Okay. So is that... Have I in some way done something useful here? If so, what is that thing? 5 is now in this cell, look. And there should be one more corner cell I can get. This 4, 5, 6 is giving me a 4 here. Yeah, okay. So... okay. So what do I do now? Do I just... I'm not sure whether I should be looking... That can't be an 8, for example. If that was an 8, I'd have 6, 5, 7, 8. That would be a run. 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's not 8. Oh, the 8 could go in the corner. I was about to pencil mark it in the reds, but that would be wrong. So what do we do next? We've got to... This needs 2, 8 and 9. I don't think we know anything about that. So 2, 8, 9 go in those cells. This column needs 1, 2, and 8. The 2 doesn't go there because of the 2's in pencil marked in those squares. So this is 1 or 8. Oh, had a good thought. That can't be 3. If this is 3, where do you put the 4? It has to go in one of those squares, and you have 1, 2, 3, and then a 4 in one of those. That will create an L tetromino. So this is not 3. That's quite a good deduction, but it does nothing. 7, look, 7's got to be in one of those 2 cells. But that just feels like it's the mirror of the 1s I remember penciling. There's all sorts of symmetry in this puzzle. I've got a nasty feeling I'm going to have to just... that can't be 8. I can see that from the logic I did earlier. Let's get rid of 8 there. So this is 2 or 9. Yeah, I've got a nasty feeling I'm just going to have to scan the grid now, continually trying to find these tetrominos, which will be very difficult, I think, because they don't seem to scan very naturally. That square. Whoa, this square here, what is that? Oh, it can be 1. Bother. I was about to say I thought it might be a naked single, but it can still be 1 as well as 7. So this is 1, 2, 7 here, this is 1, 2, 7 here. Oh, that's interesting. That can't be 1. Because if that was 1, you'd have 1, 3, 4, and one of these is a 2. So you'd have either that L tetromino or that tetromino. That's not 1. Which means what? Nothing is what it means. 9. That's interesting though. That's interesting. I'm just wondering about 8s in this box. I know I say I always trust my pencil marks, and I was about to get rid of the 8 from here, but I don't understand how I was able to eliminate an 8 from... Oh, I know how I have eliminated an 8 from there. It was 6, 5, 7, 8, wasn't it? So there is no 8 there. So there is an 8 in one of those 2 squares. Okay, so there is no 8 in this square. So that is a 7, 9 pair, which means you can't have 7 and 9 in those 2 squares, because these are the corner cells that correspond to these cells. So we've got 9 out of here, we get 7 out of here. Which again, it's just not good enough. It's not doing enough work. Three. Where does 3 go in row 5 of the grid? Once it can't be here, it can't be there, it can't be there, and it can't be there. So it has to be here, I think. That seems like a reasonable deduction. I think that's a 3. So now we need 4, 5, 8, and 9. 5 can't go in either of those cells. Oh, can I do the same thing here and ask where 4 can go? Yes, I can. That's not sorry, I could have done this ages ago, but I was slow, and these things happen. But look, here I have a 3, 5, 6 triple. So the question I need to be asking myself about this box in general is, where does 4 go? It can't go in the corners. So 4 goes in one of those squares. In fact, it goes there, which means that square's a 5. Now I've still got 2 squares left to place, 8 and 9. But I don't think I did that for this triple either. So I'm going to do it now. Where does 5 go? Yeah, where does 5... Oh, lovely, I'm going to get the 1. Where does 5 go in this box? I can't put it in the corners again. So 5 has to go here, because it can't go in those squares, which places a 1 as well, which means that's not a 1. So this 5 means that's not a 5 down at the bottom. Oops, that's not a 5. Get rid of that. This is... So now I've got a 2, 8, 9 triple in the middle box, which has come out of nowhere. So there's all sorts of stuff going on now. Those squares have got to be 3, 4, 5 and 6, and you can see they're creating... Let me put those in. They're creating quadruples all over the place. This puzzle is completely brain-frying. Now, what do we do next? We have got to go... So we've got good deductions going on here. That's forced the 1 into one of those cells. Is there a reason the 1 can't be in one of these cells? I don't see it. Maybe... Oh, well, if the 1 was here, you couldn't also have a 2 there. That I can see. Now, that... Oh no, I was about to say that can't be a 2, but of course that's a T tetromino, not an L tetromino, so that's not true. That can't be a 2, because that will create 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. So this is not 2, this one's a 2. That means nothing. It means nothing. I don't believe it. Oh, I suppose no, it gives me a 2 here. Let me not speak too soon. It gets rid of a 2 there. Ah, and this 2 is more powerful, because that means that one is a 9. That means... Oh. That means that one's an 8, I suppose. That means 8 has to be in one of those 2 cells. This square's got to be, I think, a 7 or a 9 just to complete this box. So in fact that means... does that mean this has to be a 7 or a 9 by Sudoku? I think it does. And that means this square has got to be a 1. Which means we can get rid of 1s there. We get a 2, 7 pair. Oh, which we could have got anyway because this is a 1, 8 pair apparently. Okay, fine. So slowly we're iterating towards a potentially finished grid. Now can we... Yeah, that can't be 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's got to be 2. Brilliant. So this is 2. This is 7. 7's got to be in one of those squares. 2... 2's in one of those squares. It's not good enough. Oh, I'll tell you what I mustn't forget. I've got this diagonal. I've not even looked at it since the start of the puzzle. It might soon be time to remedy that. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at it. So have we got any... What can that square be? That square's got to be 2 or 7, 8 and 9. I don't think I know which of those could be ruled out. This one's worse. Oh no, it's not worse because of this column. Oh, in fact the 9 here, that gives me this square. 8 here, 9 here. So these two squares are a 1, 7 pair. And these two squares are a 2, 9 pair. Now that might be helpful, but maybe not. Can't put 6 in either of those, but I never could put 6 in any of those 4 squares. 6. Anyway, let's come back to this diagonal. What have we got on it? We've got 14 and another 14, 28. So these 4 squares have got to add up to 12. Well, great. This square can't be 8, therefore, because if it's 8, the minimum I could make those 3 squares is 5, and 8 plus 5 is not 12, it's 13. So this has to be 1, this has to be 8, that has to be 1. Oh, don't stop going now, please. 1, yeah, 1 has to be there. Good, we get more digits. 8 has got to be in one of these 2 cells. I think that means, oh no it doesn't, oh the 7 here is fixing that one. Oh nice, okay, let's take that. 9, 7, 9 over here. So 9 has got to be in one of these 2 cells. But this square is a 9, it's a naked single. 9, therefore that's a 9. Get rid of 9 from the corner of this one. And these 2 squares now should be a 2, 8 pair, which we might not be able to do, but it still feels like it's... These 2 squares are a 1, 8 pair. Get rid of the 1 in the corner. So these 2 squares are a 7, 9 pair. I keep using the wrong pencil marks. Get rid of the 7s in those. Get rid of everything in those 2. Don't want those there, and get rid of the 2 in these. So we're getting towards a very heavily pencil marked grid here. This 9 is fixing the 7. That fixes the 7 there. Good. So this one's getting more. So now those 3 squares need to add up to 11. Ah, that's annoying. That could be 7, double 2. Or 8, 2, 1, or 8, 2, 1. It's still possible in 3 different ways. That is incredibly irritating. This square's got to be a 2 or an 8. That square can't be a 1. So let's get rid of it from the corner. Get rid of the 3 and 4s there. Get rid of the 5s and 6s here. Now... It's actually quite interesting, this. We've got loads of 2s and 8s and 1s and 8s and 1s and 7s, and then everything else is 3, 4s, 5s and 6s. Now... there you go. That square can't be a 4, because that would be 6, 5, 4, 7, which is a run. So that's got to be a 3. That's a 4. These 2 aren't 3 anymore. These 2 aren't 4 anymore. That's all I get for that deduction. That is so mean. Wow. Okay. I think, though, it feels like I'm about 1 deduction away from finishing this. It really does feel... if that's an 8, doesn't that give me 5? Yes, it does. 5, 6, 7, 8 would break it. This is a 1. 1, 8. 8, 2. 2, 9. 9, 7. 7, 1. Oh, and that's on the diagonal. Come on. Yeah, now I've got 38, so I need 2. That's got to be a 2. That's an 8. That's a 2. That's an 8. That means that's an 8, that's a 2. And now I think, am I just left with 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s? I think I am. So how do we resolve these? It's going to be one of these funny tetrominos, which are not the easiest thing to scan. Where? Oh, there's nearly one here. No. Ah, yeah, there is one. There's one there, in fact. Look, if we come this far and think about that tetromino, these two squares can't be 5 and 6. Because if they are, 5, 6, 7, 8 is definitely consecutive. So that square has to interrupt that by being a 4. Whoops, which means we can get rid of some more real estate. No, it's still not. You're joking. Oh, there's another one here. 5. If this was a 6, we'd have 5. We'd have 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's got to be a 4. That's got to be a 6. Let's go back here. 6, 3, 4. Five, 6 pair there now, so that's a 3. We just get left with loads of 5s and 6s everywhere, do we? It looks like a deadly pattern of 5s and 6s, which presumably must be resolvable somehow using the rules. So if that was a 6, yeah, if that was a 6, you'd have 5, 6, 7, 8. So that has to be 5. Wow. 5, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6. Check, yes. Whoa. That is a mind-bending puzzle. Incredible. Incredible. I mean, where that puzzle started with just these few givens symmetrically disposed, and that yields a unique solution with only the condition that you can't have a consecutive sequence in an L tetromino. Well, that's some Christmas present. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant from Trevor Tao. My goodness me. There are some brains in that family. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got through it. That was really... And maybe there's a better way of doing it. Actually, you know what? I do not think there is. Because I don't know how you... I was completely at a loss when I started mucking around with Fistamafel rings and variations thereon. And if there is a better way, please let me know in the comments. I always read them. And thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go and have a gin and tonic now. Thanks for watching. Back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.